Hello, this is Vicki Gervais at the Greater Gainesville Chamber of Commerce, and I'm delighted to welcome Chad Scott today. He is one of our candidates for the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. Welcome, Chad.
Welcome.
We're going to start out with a few questions for Chad, and then he'll wrap us up with a closing statement. So the first question I have for you is, what particular skills and experiences would you bring to this position?
Well, I've been in law enforcement for 34 years. I've been through all the ranks. I've worked with in school resource. Just to highlight just a quick briefing about me, which makes me who I am. You know, I was a coach. I was a teacher. I taught that first criminal justice program when it started for the at the high school for an entire year. You know, I was born, raised here in Alachua County. I was a chief. I have love and empathy for people, and I have a unique leadership style, and I enjoy what I do.
Okay, terrific. If you are elected, what would be your top priorities and projects?
Um, my first priority would be really to just sit for a minute and to really just focus on the guys that are there right now, the guys that has been through two sheriffs already in a short period of time, and really just evaluate that and to make sure that they're okay. You know, at the sheriff's office right now, there's a huge fracture on the inside that where people are not getting along. They don't trust each other. They don't trust the leadership. I've been to the sheriff's office twice now already in a leadership capacity, and I'm really concerned about the inside. And I say that because I think in order for us to do a good job on the outside, we have to be emotionally intact on the inside. So that would be my first encounter with the agency, because I left. I was a major, then I was a colonel. And then when Governor DeSantis appointed Emory Gainey, I went back. I was demoted back to a major. So I have a very insight on what's going on the inside, and I really want to focus on that, because when I came back to the sheriff's office as the major, I made a difference. You know, and that's why I wanted to run for sheriff, and that's why I'm in this race right now, because I'm really concerned about the job that I love.
Terrific. The next question I have for you is about the community. Gun violence and panhandling are top of mind issues in our county. What measures do you think need to be taken on these?
Well, I think for gun violence, I think you always it's something that's happening all over the world, and I think that as a law enforcement officer, you have to combat that. You know, you have to have a street crimes unit out. And I like the ILP model, which is called this intelligence-led policing, which is where you have crime analysts that work on it, where you focus on the problem and not so much as the people. And, you have to keep that under control on a daily basis. But however, I am concerned about the early intervention piece to that, to stop it, to stop the gun violence. And I think that goes back to a collaborative effort from everybody, working with the community, working with community leaders, working with business owners, working with parents, working with our school resource officers to attack this from an early intervention standpoint. Because what developmental psychology says the critical stages for a child is from 0 to 5. So we need to focus on the mindset from 0 to 5. And I think that because it's all over the world, and we have to change the mindset of these kids. There's a lot of things that we need to focus on when it comes to kids, rather than them playing video games and listening to that toxic rap music that causes violence, that's talking about shooting each other and hurting each other. There's things that kids can do now. They like to be influenced, and we need to change their mindset to focus on who they are so they can stop listening to that bad rhetoric. So, but I think it's an early intervention piece that needs to be incorporated on that. And then there was a second piece of that question. You talked about the panhandling, correct?
Panhandling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Panhandling, I think that's unique to us, because we as law enforcement get called about people panhandling. But I think as law enforcement officers, we have to provide resources, because people are down on their luck. People need help. You never know what state of mind or what's going on with a person. So I think when I think about panhandling, I always go back to the United Way, because a lot of times the panhandling and people that's down on their luck, they have no idea about these resources that's out there. The United Way provides housing, clothing, food, medicine, and people don't know about that. So when you encounter people out there and people call about these people panhandling, you don't know what they're going through. So I think as a law enforcement officer, we make that an encounter. We need to provide that resource to that person, because who knows, you may help them out. They didn't know, and that can provide help for them. So I think we wear a lot of hats out there, and I think that's what it's all about for us, is finding resources for people that we encounter, and having that empathy, because we just don't know why a person is at that state right now. So.
Okay, terrific. A new issue that's going to be on the ballot in November is Amendment 3, adult personal use of marijuana. What is your opinion on this?
Well, I think we don't, as law enforcement officers, I have my opinion about a personal opinion about it. But however, as law enforcement officers, we keep people safe, and I think whatever I can provide my opinion all day, but as a law enforcement officer, I have empathy for people, and whatever the law is, that's what we're going to do. We're going to enforce the law, and we're going to apply the law, and we're going to talk with our legal as much as we can, so we can keep people safe and provide the best safety that we can for people that the law is protecting, or whatever the law is, and I know people have their opinions about it, and I have my personal opinion about it. But I think that as law enforcement officers, that's what we do. We enforce the law.
Okay, very good. And the final question, and you touched on this a little bit early on, but this will give you an opportunity to talk a little bit more about it. What prompted you to run for this office right now?
Well, like I said, I rose to the rank of a chief here in Alachua, which is where I am now, back as a captain, because I had to resign to run law, and they brought me back here as a captain to be an advisor to the chief. And we did some amazing things here in Alachua. When I was the chief, we encountered gun violence, and we were able to collaborate with outside agencies and federal agencies, and we really gained control of that situation. My leadership style is unique, and I spoke about that because I focus on people that are competent, capable, and confident. Not only that they have the passion to do the job, and empathy and love for all people, because there's clearly a lot of people that's wearing the uniform that don't need to be wearing the uniform. We serve people, and when you call us, you need our help. And so we need to provide the best resource for you, and have empathy for you to be able to put ourselves in your position to help. And I did that in Alachua. We became an accredited agency under my leadership, and people were wearing a lot of different hats, but they love to come to work, so and when I reached my highest pinnacle point, there were other people coming up behind me. So I wanted to expand myself, and I went back to the sheriff's office as a major with the idea, and then quickly raised, getting the rank to earning the rank as a colonel. I knew then that I wanted to expand my horizon throughout the Alachua community, and provide the best service that I can from the place where I grew up, because I've seen a lot of bad things happening in law enforcement, and that's where Alachua is in the city, and the county is everybody in my area. So I wanted to expand that. I wanted to expand that, and this is not about me. I consider my job and what I do here as a calling, and it's not up to me. I just love what I do. So that is the main reason why I'm running for sheriff of Alachua County.
All right, terrific. Well, in the couple of minutes we have left, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. If there's anything we didn't cover that you wanted to touch on, this is the time. And if you want to just wrap it up and bring us on home, the floor is yours.
Yeah. I just I appreciate the opportunity, to chat with people, and I think that's one of my strongest points, is to reach out to people and let them feel and understand my heartfelt passion for this job, to help people, to understand that this is what um, I do. It's not about the uniform. It's not about power. It's not about telling people what to do. It's about I just see the law enforcement profession becoming something else. It's coming something. They've been demonized and people don't trust us. And I want to make sure that I bring that back to the community. And that's another thing I want to do. I want to make sure I regain the trust and respect back from the community through transparency, accessibility, and dedication. And the one thing that I want to mention, and while I'm on this, is that when it comes to dedication, I've been doing this for 34 years. Not one time have I called in sick. So this is part of what I do. And the last thing is on November 5th, please vote Chad Scott for sheriff. Thank you.
Okay, terrific. And I'm going to echo that for Chad, that at the Greater Gainesville Chamber, we are encouraging everyone to use all of the resources and get educated and get ready and be ready to show up in whichever way you choose to cast your vote on Tuesday, November 5th. Thanks so much, Chad. It was great talking to you again today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vicki.
All right, you have an uneventful rest of the day. I know it's a little crazy with our crazy weather approaching, but we're gonna hope for the best. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you will.